Hi folks, my name is Dean. I'm the CEO of Medical Fitness Solutions. And even though we're in the startup category, we're not really a startup. And we're not looking for money. So I've been in the business for about 38 years, developing medical devices, distribution side of it, design, patents, FDA approvals, etc. And what we're really here looking for today is a bullhorn. We've developed a lot of programs and products to combat the comorbidities of aging non-pharmacologically. And the cornerstone that I'll talk to you about a little bit today is our core balance device. It's a visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive challenging device that's FDA recognized and walks the patient through a series of balance challenges that's malleable. We have a malleable platform and different patterns and challenges we have with the patients. And we've used it for years in the orthopedic arena, and recently we've developed software for cognitive, Parkinson's, and other neuro issues as well. How it works is we have an accelerometer in this platform that communicates with the computer, and in essence that platform can become a joystick, so we can work on balance with patients both from kind of a rote Romberg type of test where you're just testing basic baselines on patients, and then we can get into playing games where there's also a cognitive challenge as well as the balance challenge as well. Now, who does it benefit? And this is really what we're looking for from a partnership perspective, because even though there's a broad medical necessity, there's a lot of CPT codes, there's a lot of a pretty big install base out there, is fall and fracture reduction is a program that we're really working on in the senior arena. Fall and fracture reduction and mental decline are costly maladies that we've developed programs, and this product being one of the cornerstones for us to baseline and then judge the interventions against these baselines and show percentages of improvement or regression, and then tie those into cost of care. So we know that the market size for computerized balance is about $70 million a year. Right now I said we're not a startup. We did about $2 million in the last 18 months. We've got 65% margins on the product. But we think the market potential for this really exceeds what we're doing on the orthopedic and skilled nursing perspective, particularly when we start talking about Alzheimer's and dementia and Medicare screening for fall and fracture reduction. We've also got the device at about 40 Veterans Administration hospitals because we do have programming for MTBIs, again, in that neurological arena. We've won awards for the innovation of the product with major GPOs, and we've developed another ancillary program that goes along with this product that I mentioned earlier. This is a cornerstone product that we can get baseline and do training on balance. But for example, when we're working on fracture reduction programming, we've got to look at bone density and how we're addressing that. We look at gait, we look at balance, we look at muscular strength. And in this particular example, we look at Parkinson's. Has anybody ever heard of Rocksteady Boxing? Yeah, there's about 325 Rocksteady Boxings that are open in the United States now. And it seems counterintuitive, but boxing for Parkinson's, not getting hit. Actually, the boxing team training has been showing some really good anecdotal outcomes, and we're quantifying those with our software now. We've developed 6 different models, and kind of the secret sauce for us, we've got 4 different patents pending, is on a center pivot point and a malleable platform that we use a bladder to inflate and deflate to change the rigidity of that platform and the challenge to the patient. Ken mentioned earlier is competition. We know who the competition is. We know what we do differently. It's a pretty narrow market because I mentioned earlier, $70 million doesn't get people excited worldwide, but that's just the balance assessment and training. Where we're going with fracture reduction, where we're going with mental decline are the bigger markets. I mentioned we do have billing codes already. This is billed out as therapeutic exercise a lot of times, balance training. But this isn't a traditional market. This is the third-party pay market. And what we're really looking for is a disruptive partner who's going to help us take this type of programming and transition it into a hybrid kind of third-party pay and cash business. And I'll explain to you a little bit about how we do this. And I think you're the one who's doing the Chinese. We have Chinese FDA as well, CFDA, and that took us a couple of years to get. So we're ready to go. What we need again is a bullhorn. We're a small company. When we get one-on-one with individuals, we have good success in explaining this programming. But one of the real challenges again is the business model. When we work on degenerative issues, it's not 12 or 15 treatments and the patient is better. It's when you have bone loss, to create trabecular bone growth, it takes 6 months to a year. Sarcopenia, to replace muscle mass, to get people stronger, takes 6 months to a year. When we're working on neurodegenerative diseases, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementias, we have to look at these interventions and we have to treat these individuals for a long time. The difficulty has been, though, too, in treating these people for a long time, they're typically being treated at the MD and DPT and doctorate level. And we put together business models that can transition that ongoing treatment to technicians at $15 to $18 an hour and not physical therapists at $63 an hour. So we're trying to get broader acceptance with the technology and with the programming, and that's really why we're here. There's smart people in this room. We're a small company. We need a bullhorn. We can help share that business modeling. Just somewhat related, we've taken technology and had a couple offshoots. I've also talked to Rand about licensing what we've done from a gaming perspective. But really what we want to do is be able to put a partnership together that can get us a little louder voice in some of these HMOs, ACOs, et cetera, that have to control these costs, and potentially get in the insurance carriers where preventative obviously is much less expensive than acute care and doctorate level treatments. Any questions? Oh, okay, I was going to go into the next slide, but go ahead.
Aside from the VA hospitals, where is the technology available?
Well, we've got several. Our biggest market for that technology is in long-term care and skilled nursing. So we're in a couple of the large PTOT speech providers, and we use it there. Also orthopedic rehab. There's a lot of outpatient physical therapy uses it.
Here in Orange County?
In Orange County, yeah. We sell primarily vicariously through large medical distributors, but our direct accounts, I can give you a couple off the top of my head, is American Senior Communities has about 40 or 50 of these devices within their communities as well. We do a lot of work with Aegis therapies as well. But mostly in that skilled nursing, long-term care, some outpatient rehab.
Do you sell this as capital equipment, or do you have a razor blade model for it?
We sell it as capital equipment now. We've looked at the razor blade model. We've looked at, there's a company out there that did it pretty successfully with the Cubitus ulcer healing. Under the radar of capital equipment is kind of a rental. So we looked at that model. It's a little more capital intensive, but it's not out of the question if we can scale that direction. Yes, software component in it as well.
You mentioned proactive rather than, rehabilitation. Have you looked at athletic training at the youth market, et cetera?
Yes.
In schools, things like that?
Yes, we have. In fact, a physical therapist buddy of mine and myself, we screened all the football players at Fallbrook High School about 3 years of concussion management. Mm-hmm. So we had a baseline set up, and so if any of the kids got knocked in the head, we at least had a baseline. Yeah. One of the things we found with athletes is they'll try to, it's kind of the opposite of workman's comp issues, is athletes will try to dog it on the first test in case they get hurt because they want to play. And the other side of the coin, so we can blind the scores. So we blind the scores for symptom magnifiers in industrial medicine, and then we blind the scores because athletes want to play even if they're hurt. But yeah, we've made some inroads there, but again, we're kind of a small company. We'd love to be able to do more. Yeah. One of the issues we ran into with concussion management is unfortunately, and this was a side effect of this, and I don't want to go too much further, but we were into some major colleges with Dr. Broderick up in New York, And in talking to the athletic directors and the school administrators, I got the feeling is they didn't want to have a clearer picture of concussion management than their competitors did. Because we're looking at different areas of function, and if they had to keep an athlete out and not their competitors, they didn't say that, but we thought it was great. We thought we killed it. We thought, okay, we're gonna give more information about these kids. And they gave us lacrosse. So we did the lacrosse, but they wouldn't give us the football. Is there a question? Sir.
Sorry, you mentioned, but how you will bring the cost down? There will be no human interaction, or there still will be human interaction?
There'll still be human interaction, but it would be a lower cost human interaction. And I'll give you a couple examples. This is why HMOs make a lot of sense to us. And because American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, it's $81,300 is what they put a dollar amount on a broken hip. But they also put a price tag of lifetime bisphosphonate treatments of $205,000 because of necrosis of the jaw and atypical femur fracture. They have to factor into there. So our programming for our trabecular bone strength programming, you can participate for 20 years with the technician for under $20,000. So if we can get to the people and talk about make money or save money, we can have those discussions. You want to grab that? Yeah, any other questions, folks? I've got a booth out there if you want to chat a little bit. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much.